This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
I think the worst thought to any parent, if you're a parent, is losing a child.
New at 11 plans are underway to honor a young life that was tragically cut short, and a community is stepping up to help a family in mourning. This weekend, a funeral will be held for an 8-month-old boy who died in a house fire earlier this week. That baby was trapped upstairs when the fire started at a home in Frankfort Monday morning. His father and 2 other children were able to escape. The family lost everything they own. But since the fire, hundreds of Hoosiers have stepped up with donations. Mark Sanders is the senior pastor of Frankfort's Faith Family Church. He says when the call for help went out, it took less than a day for the church to overflow with everything the family needs: food, clothes, toys, beds, and even household appliances.
It came within a few hours. By Tuesday morning, we were having a meeting at 8:30 to shut it down. So by Monday night at 8 o'clock, we pretty much already had enough food and enough clothing from people in the community.
The pastor says the family has all the items they need, but the church is still accepting monetary donations on their behalf. And Frankfort firefighters say Monday's house fire was an accident caused by a space heater. Tonight, RTV6's Cameron Riddle is working for you with important safety tips firefighters want you to know before you plug in to keep warm this winter.
As the weather gets colder, these space heaters are coming out of the closet and into the coldest rooms in our homes.
Space heaters are the second leading cause of fires in the United States.
Space heaters are no doubt a big convenience, and in many homes, they're a necessity. But although it's a cool tool to keep you warm, it can quickly create tragedy and destruction.
So we need 3 feet away from the space heater, away from all combustibles, walls, linens, carpets, anything like that.
Under this desk is a power strip, and plugged into it is a computer, speaker system, and lamp. And while this may be an easy place to plug in a space heater, firefighters say plugging in this is a power overload waiting to happen.
And if you're going to use a space heater, you should have only the space heater plugged into the outlet. And if you're going to use extension cord, you need to use a heavy-duty gauge wired extension cord.
While we've all done it, you should never be asleep when the space heater is on. Firefighters say that's when a lot of problems happen. And of course, you can't see them, especially in cases when the power cord gets covered and then gets too hot.
When they use a lightweight cord, it'll overload the circuit. Sometimes people will even put extension cord underneath the throw rug. And the heat cannot escape, and it will start to burn the rug underneath.
When the space heater does its job, you'll start to feel toasty, and so will everything else in the room, especially Christmas trees, real or fake, curtains, and bed sheets.
Long shag carpet would be definitely something I wouldn't want, or near a bed or anything that it's going to be radiant heat, and sometimes things will get knocked into it, and it's just a dangerous situation.
Working for you, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Thanks, Cameron. And you can get another look at those space heater safety tips right now at theindychannel.com. Temperatures are creeping back up. Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is here to tell us if our warming trend will continue. Kevin.
We'll find some comfortable days for sure, Amanda. Overnight tonight, our temperatures will fall into the 20s by the time you wake up. The wind is calming down. We had wind gusts over 30 miles per hour through the day. Patchy fog is possible. I don't think it's likely. I just kind of mentioned it. 34 in Lafayette, temperature above freezing in Indianapolis as well. Skies are clear. They'll stay that way overnight. During the day tomorrow, the wind will be much calmer like it is now, generally around 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, Monument Circle will be there all day for the 6 Shines On toy drive, and the sun will be shining on us. Temperature at noon 43, almost to 50 degrees for the afternoon high temperature, and that's true for all of central Indiana, with plenty of sunshine, maybe a few more late day clouds. Okay, we'll talk about weekend changes when I come back, get into the cold blast that arrives next week, and potentially even some light accumulating snow. Details ahead.
They need more guidance in their home. I'm so angry at the mothers of these children who did this, or men, whoever it could be. Get your children.
Only on RTV6, a woman has strong words for parents in her community after her 16-year-old son was shot on Thanksgiving. Tonight, Quintez Tucker is recovering after getting shot in the head, chest, and back. It happened at 21st and Mithofer Road around 1 a.m. Friday morning. His mom, Nicole, says Quintez had just been paid on Thanksgiving from his job at Arby's, and he was spending the night with family when Quintez was contacted by another teen who eventually picked him up in a car. Later, she got the call that her son had been shot. Nicole says it's far too easy for teens to get guns.
Having guns for children has become a trend. It's became part of their everyday attire that they put on. And that shouldn't be. Getting these kids home. These kids get arrested for guns. Send a mom through counseling. Send her through something. This is a family thing.
Quintez has opened his eyes, but it is not clear how much damage has been done. He is known as a community leader, as a member of the Bloom Project, a program that helps prepare teens for a successful life.
He's going to have a long recovery. I just hope that he comes out to be the same silly, loving, giving to his community young boy.
Just last month, Quintez was featured in a Call 6 Investigates report about racial disparities in school discipline. He shared his concerns about bullying in his community and his dreams to become an entrepreneur. Indianapolis Metro Police is still investigating the shooting, and no arrests have been made. And tonight, mothers who understand what Nicole is going through held a vigil downtown urging action to stop gun violence. We spoke to one woman whose son was left paralyzed in all of his limbs after he was hit in the back of the head by a stray bullet. She has a message for young people who might get their hands on guns.
Think of your parents. The pain. See, my son just had a seizure since we've been sitting here. It scared me to death. It was 10 seconds. But just to see my son like that is unfair. He was doing nothing wrong. And so my word to the kids is just think about your parents and how they would feel if you were gone.
Tonight's vigil to end gun violence was hosted by Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. And this weekend, local pastors are putting into action a plan to get guns off the streets of Indianapolis. They are holding a gun buyback along with IMPD, the Indianapolis Public Safety Foundation, and the City County Council. Faith leaders want their communities to find other solutions besides violence.
They don't understand really that once you shoot somebody and have a homicide, that's final. But when you can have conversation, you can always work things out.
The buyback is happening Saturday at Messiah Missionary Baptist Church from noon until 5 p.m. Participants can receive gift cards if they turn in working firearms. More money will be given out for higher caliber guns or rifles. Anyone turning in a gun for money needs to bring an ID. It's all hands on deck as one local police department tries to stop package thieves. It's a crime that spikes every year around the holidays. In Plainfield, the entire police department is going undercover to tackle the trend. That includes the chief of police, assistant chief, detectives, and anyone who uses an unmarked vehicle. The department says they started the program last year as a trial run, and it was so successful, they brought it back.
Realized very quickly that we only had one unsolved theft last year, so it worked. So when things work and we keep up with the crime trends, we do it again.
Officers watch for cars that appear to be following delivery trucks and going from one neighborhood to the next. Plainfield police recommend tracking your deliveries and call someone to pick up a package if you won't be home. The remains of notorious gangster John Dillinger will not be dug up from Crown Hill Cemetery. Today, a judge ruled in favor of Crown Hill, saying it does not have to let Dillinger's relatives exhume his grave under current law. Dillinger's nephew wanted to test the remains to confirm they belong to Dillinger. The judge says, according to Indiana law, a cemetery does not have to give a valid or rational reason to deny any request for disinterment.
It's a great way not to just be a piece of paper, a resume. It's actually making connections and having conversations.
Dozens of companies are looking to hire Hoosier veterans and their loved ones. Coming up in Hiring Hoosiers, a job fair that's focusing on those who have served.
It's everywhere. It's hindering a lot of people's lives.
Getting a new lease on life. Up next, one man is sharing his new lease on life to make sure others know about a free service that helps people clear up their criminal records. We'll be right back.
At Ashley Home Store, this is home.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Helping Hoosiers move on with their lives and land a job. For 6 years, the Expungement Help Desk has been doing just that, thanks to Indiana's Second Chance Law. It lets people convicted of certain crimes expunge their records. New at 11, RTV6's Cornelius Hawker introduces you to one man who is thriving thanks to the Help Desk and why they want others to take advantage of this free service.
Here at the City County building, there's an office tucked away in the basement. That's where the Expungement Help Desk is, giving people a second chance at life.
Be good, be grateful, stay committed. If this is what you want, it's possible.
Stanley Gilbert is one of many people who've had their criminal record expunged thanks to the Help Desk, clearing the way for him to finally build the life he always wanted. A life that in some ways had been on hold for nearly 30 years.
I had to live a humble, meager, low-paying job life.
At 21, he was convicted of a felony. So despite his military experience and other training,
Post office, hospitals, Lily's, Dow, all those I applied for and that was going to hire me, but my felony kicked it back.
years went by until one day, Stanley was talking to an unemployment office worker who wanted to know what was holding up his job search.
What is it about you that an employer don't want to hire you? I said, well, I have a felony. And that was it. And she told me about it.
This is where Julie Mennel and her staff at the help desk got involved.
Years and years ago, very, very young, there were things that happened that shouldn't have happened, and it wasn't who he was any longer.
Julie tells me that's the case for so many people who come to them for help figuring out how to begin the expungement process.
In the vast majority of circumstances, they're able to start and finish the process here and then just go file with the courts.
The Expungement Help Desk is backed by the Neighborhood Christian Legal Clinic, so people going through the process can get help from attorneys whenever they need it. Julie hopes people see stories like Stanley's and come take advantage of the services they offer. Folks who are ready to restart their lives.
I see a huge benefit to people that have gotten to that place and have decided that they want to turn it around.
Come on down here, see the hours, be with the lady, be honest, and be committed.
Working for you in Indianapolis, Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
And once Stanley's felony conviction was expunged, it only took him 2 months to find a good-paying job. To learn more about the Expungement Help Desk, check out this story at theindychannel.com. The second phase in the impeachment inquiry into President Trump is underway. The House Judiciary Committee has a day to decide if hearings will continue next week. That hearing is expected to include testimony from Democratic and GOP staff attorneys on the House Intelligence Committee who would present the findings of their investigations. The Judiciary Committee is expected to draft and consider articles of impeachment in the next several days. Today, they heard from a panel of constitutional scholars.
If Congress fails to impeach here, then the impeachment process has lost all meaning. If you're going to accuse a president of bribery, you need to make it stick, because you're trying to remove a duly elected president of the United States.
The White House has a Friday deadline to decide about whether to participate in future hearings. Ivanka Trump is in Indiana talking about job training initiatives. Tomorrow, she's attending a meeting of the American Workforce Policy Advisory Board. But today, she was zipping around the Indy Motor Speedway. Trump and Secretary of Commerce Wilbur Ross went on a tour of IMS led by Governor Holcomb. Rapper MC Hammer was there too. He's on the board of the Last Mile, a workforce development program at Indiana Women's Prison. Trump and Ross will meet program participants tomorrow as well.
And the sun was shining at the Motor Speedway today and in all 92 Indiana counties. Let's talk about the big picture for a second and the pattern change into early next week. It will be a dramatic change from a surge of warm air Sunday and Monday. Then temperatures fall off as the jet stream changes, starts delivering cold Canadian air to the Great Lakes and the Midwest, and that will do this to temperatures. Monday, 52 degrees, all is well. false confidence. 32 on Tuesday and 22 the high temperature as we get to Wednesday. I think there'll be spots in the single digits in northwest Indiana for morning lows, and we'll struggle to reach 22 for a high. Right now we're above that. 34 is the temperature in Indy. Martinsville 37, 34 in Lafayette, but it's a lot hotter than that in Mackey Arena. We'll hear from Dave tonight on the big game, the Boilers and Virginia. Monument Circle. And what a beautiful sight this evening. All is quiet. It comes to life. Tomorrow we'll be there all day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. collecting toys for the 6 Shines On Toy Drive. Thank you for your support now over what is our 19th year. Temperatures tomorrow morning with generally a clear sky will be in the upper 20s. The wind will be around 10 miles per hour, whereas they were gusting to 30 today. They'll generally be 15 miles per hour or less through the day tomorrow. Temperatures upper 20s, a dry drive to work, and returning home tomorrow evening will be dry. Temperature lower 50s in Bloomington. We hit 48 in Indianapolis today. We'll make another run at 50 tomorrow afternoon. That's what I'm talking about with the winds, not nearly as gusty. They'll be out of the southwest. That'll help our temperatures. Tomorrow night at this time, clouds will increase. It's possible into Friday morning we could have a couple of rain showers, generally south of a Terre Haute to Seymour line, and then early Friday, any threat will continue to push away from central Indiana, giving us a dry Friday and a Saturday. Friday planner, more in the way of cloud cover, especially during the morning hours. We'll work on some sunshine in the afternoon. It will be cooler into the weekend. Saturday, the better of the 2 days. Lots of sunshine Saturday. We'll take our temperatures that are in the mid-40s Friday, cool those off just a little bit Saturday. Temperature on Sunday at 51. There's the change. Early next week, rain around Monday, much colder as we get into Tuesday. Only 22 Wednesday. Ouch.
Yeah, ouch. Looking at that, it just gives you the shivers. All right, thank you, Kevin. Here's Dave with sports.
Guys, good evening. What a night tonight here at West Lafayette. Mackey Arena. Built, of course, is a rematch of the Elite Eight, won by Virginia in overtime. That was back in March, but no team in the Big Ten has a better record in this Big Ten ACT Challenge, quite like Purdue does. And they proved why here tonight, early and often. It all began with sophomore guard Sasha Stefanovic, the crown point in it with 3 straight threes to open the game and set the pace for the Boilermakers. He had a game-high 20 tonight. That was followed by a 12-0 Boiler run with grad transfer Jihad Proctor leading the way. Back-to-back buckets. He had 15. Second half, Eric Hunter getting into the act, the sophomore from Tindley Prep, making it a 21-point game. This place is rocking. He had 10 tonight, and if it got close, oh, you know, like within 15, it was Matt Harms to the rescue. He had 11. Purdue with its first win over a top 5 non-conference opponent in Mackey Arena history. 69-40 the final. A big win here on a big Wednesday.
So tonight I just wanted to come out and be aggressive, do anything that I could to help try to win, and you know, that happened to be shooting. And
it was awesome. It just set the tone for us, man. It just, like, about a third one, just Mackey just erupted, and it's tough to overcome that if you're the opposing team.
Just got to give our guys credit. Everything always looks better when the ball goes in. And we made some shots early and got into a rhythm. And then I thought we did a good job of setting our defense and trying to keep them out of the paint.
Just like that, a big win. And guess what? They begin Big Ten play. Their Big Ten home opener comes up Sunday afternoon against Northwestern. A couple other notes today. Purdue wide receiver David Bell named the Big Ten's Freshman of the Year. And the Colts signing kicker Chase McLaughlin, who was just released from the San Francisco 49ers. Colts picking up because Adam Vinatieri was a bit limited in practice today with that bum knee. We'll see what happens moving forward there at the Bucs on Sunday. Big night here at Mackey Arena. Day first, RTV6 Sports.
It's been nearly 30 years since the first Subaru rolled off the assembly line in Lafayette. Up next, we are revisiting what makes the plant so successful and the incentives they offer to keep Hoosiers on the job. For more than a year, Hiring Hoosiers has been connecting you to employment opportunities, resources, training, and education. And as we head into a new year, we are taking a look back at some of the companies and programs that have sought to change the lives of Hoosiers. In the spring, RTV6's Mark Mullins visited a company that made a commitment decades ago to build cars and hire Hoosiers. And that commitment is still paying off.
It's 4:30 p.m. and Dorothy Moore has just clocked in on the second shift.
I work in stamping, the second part of the manufacturing process of building a car.
She's worked at the Subaru of Indiana automotive plant in Lafayette for nearly 3 years, operating heavy machinery. Quite the change from baking cakes and cookies for a living.
It didn't really pay very well, and so I had a lot of friends that worked at SIA saying, hey, they're hiring, come work for SIA. They have wonderful pay and benefits. You won't be sorry, and I'm not. So I'm glad I'm here.
Managers here want more workers with Dorothy's kind of attitude.
First and foremost, we need people that will come to work every day.
Scott Brand is one of the executives here, looking to fill more than 125 positions, mainly on the assembly line, setting car parts in place.
We have some turnover just based on people not being willing to get up in the morning or being able to make it to work in the afternoon at 4:30.
Brand admits there's a challenge retaining workers, attributed to a growing generational apathy among laborers, a trend other employers are also grappling with.
Well, what we're hoping is that in the team environment that we have here in the plant, that some of the veteran associates, some of the folks that have been here for a while, will help those associates see that those are good jobs. Those are great jobs. And they should, by applying themselves and coming to work every day, have a great opportunity to have a good life and a good career here at the company.
The company offers incentives to get workers to keep coming back, competitive wages, a perfect attendance bonus, a child development center with childcare, and a fitness facility. There are roughly 5,700 employees who work here. Half of them live in Lafayette. The other half come in from surrounding counties in metro Indianapolis. So Subaru is also exploring options to ease transportation challenges for workers with a longer commute. With a growing workforce, the plant is even expanding its training facility to get more workers on the production line faster. For Dorothy, it means a growing family.
We spend more time, with these people than we do our own families and friends, so we make the best of it and we get along really well.
In Lafayette, Mark Mullins, RTV6.
And Subaru hires workers through a temp agency called CTI Personnel. Those positions eventually lead to full-time employment with Subaru itself. The pay starts around $14.25 an hour and goes up from there. If you are interested, you are urged to apply for positions through CTI. There's a phone number or online application you can use. We have a link on our website at hiringhoosiers.com. A job fair happening tomorrow is seeking to help the one group that has the highest unemployment rate in the U.S., military spouses. The Indianapolis Veterans Job Fair is showcasing education and employment opportunities for vets, spouses, transitioning military, and National Guard members.
Many of the representatives on site are actually veterans themselves, so it's a great way not to just be a piece of paper, a resume. It's actually making connections and having conversations.
Tomorrow's Veterans Job Fair is happening from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Mirage Shrine Temple on New Jersey Street. Dozens of companies and organizations will be there. You can learn more information at hiringhoosiers.com. We will be right back.
0 deposit, 0 first month, and 0 due at signing.
Tomorrow is the big day. RTV6 is collecting toys on Monument Circle from 6 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. as part of our holiday toy drive. Just drive up and drop off your donation. We also have several drop-off sites across central Indiana. You can find a list at theindychannel.com.
You won't even need to go 360 degrees around. You can do a 180, a 270, and we'll come to the car and grab the toys. Thank you so much. All right, sunshine on the Circle tomorrow. Temperature by noon at 42. The afternoon high so close to 50. Honk your horn if it says 50 inside your car tomorrow afternoon.
That would be great.
I know it will inside the car, but the outside temperature.
All right, well, make sure you come say hi to us on the Circle. Have a great night. Good night.